What is up, you guys? It is another episode of the Sci-Fly Zone where the multiverse meets a seventh inning stretch. It's your boy Trenton today. I don't have my co-host CJ with me today. He is currently vacationing with family. So today, Miss Minutes has assigned me the task of finding out who out of the remaining people who have not been announced for Avengers Doomsday are going to be in the movie. So we're going to be doing it via tier list. And we got it for you right here, you guys. So let's get right into it. Drop a like, drop a comment. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I started us off with a pretty big Avenger here. We got Doctor Strange. And this is a pretty big conversation here because a lot of people speculated if his third movie probably was going to be titled Time Runs Out, was going to take place before or after Doomsday, but now it's definitely taking place after Doomsday. But it might take place between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I feel like that is what would make the most sense. So I feel like if Doctor Strange is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, it'll probably be just in a cameo. But I would really like to see his cameo have some implications because he is a big player and he's an awesome character. So next we have Spider-Man. And Spider-Man Brand New Day is taking place before Avengers Doomsday. So there's a good chance he's going to be in the movie. And there's even a chance that the movie might even lead into Avengers Doomsday. So I'm going to put him in 99% sure he's going to be in the movie, especially considering the fact that Doctor Doom is going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. and, Tom Holland Spider-Man and Iron Man Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., obviously had a really big relationship in the MCU, so they really need to capitalize on that and have some scenes between them in this, for sure. So next we have Nick Fury, and Nick Fury needs to be in this movie. It sucks that Secret Invasion was received so poorly and honestly written so poorly because Nick Fury is a pivotal character in the MCU. I mean, he was the one that brought the band together. R.I.P. Coulson. Unless Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. Who knows? I don't know. But, anyway, Nick Fury. He needs to be in this movie, although since I feel like Marvel is still kind of scared to do stuff with him, I feel like he will also only have a cameo if he is in the movie. So next we have Monica Rambeau, Photon. She's definitely going to be in the movie, guys. Come on. The Marvel's post-credit scene is probably going to be the most important post-credit scene going into Avengers Doomsday, because not only did it show us an incursion, it also showed us Kelsey Grammer's Beast, and he's confirmed to be in the movie, Avengers Doomsday. So there's no way they're not going to reference this plot point again. Like, she's going to be in the movie. There's no way. And next we have another character who was in the Marvels, Captain Marvel. So I think she's going to be in this movie, but she's probably going to have a smaller role, unfortunately, just because of how her character has been received over the years. Again, not really her fault. The writing just hasn't really been there for her character. She had a much better performance in her sequel movie, in my opinion, but out of some small other cameos, she hasn't really made that much of an impact in the MCU, unfortunately, just because, again, I feel like Marvel is afraid to touch her due to how she's been received, but I do feel like she should be in this movie, and if she is going to be in this movie, she'll probably have a small role. Next, we have Hulk, Bruce Banner. Spider-Man Brand New Day, he's also going to be in the movie, and the outcome of that movie will definitely help us determine if he's going to be in the movie for sure, but guys, it's Hulk. Come on. He's probably going to be in the movie. He's probably going to be in it. In some capacity. He's going to be in it. It's Hulk. And She-Hulk? I think she's probably going to be in the movie, but in a smaller role. Probably to a similar screen time or impact to Captain Marvel. Because two things. One, I don't think they're going to go too crazy with her just because, again, how her show was received. It was not received that well. But they've had a lot more time, to write out this movie and probably figure out what to do with her character. She is going to be in this movie. And also, there was some leaked plot art a few months ago that did show her being in the movie. Her and Hulk doing some crazy stuff in like a very retro medieval time world, it seemed like. So I think there's a decent chance she's going to be in the movie, probably playing a small role. So now we have Deadpool and Wolverine. And while I do feel like these two might differ in plot relevance or impact on the plot, I do feel like they will still be in the movie to a degree. So I feel like they will be in the movie, but probably just playing a smaller role. Although it really depends on what universe they're pulling from in the X-Men universe, because it is rumored that the universe that Monica Rambeau landed in was the branch reality that was created at the end of the X-Men movie Days of Future Past. Or it could be the Wolverine from obviously Deadpool and Wolverine. So I do feel like these two are kind of a package deal at this point. That's why I have them together. So I feel like if they are going to be in the movie, it's going to be a small role and probably like not too much in the plot per se. And X-23, she's probably just going to have a cameo. I don't really see how they could work her into the plot as much, but since she was kind of part of that group in Deadpool and Wolverine, I do feel like they will kind of find a way to write her in a little bit. War Machine, Rhodey. He's kind of in a similar boat to Nick Fury because he was just, again, written really poorly in Secret Invasion. No fault to him. It really sucks. He's a really important character, and he needs to be in more stuff. He needs to be in more pivotal roles because he's been here since the beginning in Iron Man, and he's been in so many different fights. He has so much veteran experience. Like, boom, you looking for this? Come on, we need more of that. So I think for those reasons, if he's going to be in the movie, it's probably just going to be a cameo, probably to help set some things up. Although I'm going to go a little biased here and just go small role because I want him to have more than just a cameo in the movie. Next, we have Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. Now, this is really interesting because he said he wasn't coming back for Hawkeye Season 2 because Marvel offered him half the money that he got from Season 1. So what's up with that? I think that's really weird. I'm not a big fan of that. And again, he's also one of the original Avengers. So who knows? I mean, Jeremy Renner has said publicly that he's not going to be in the movie, but Marvel actors, like I've said in the past, have a reputation of saying they're not going to be in the movie, but end up being in the movie. But I kind of believe Jeremy Renner on this one. So I'm going to put him in probably not in the movie. America Chavez. She's 99% sure she's going to be in this movie. And her ability to travel the multiverse is unparalleled. I mean, she's the only one who can do it without causing incursions using her magic. I mean, that ability alone is going to make her very important. I mean, I see multiple people wanting to go after her power or her being the one to kind of transfer our heroes from universe to universe if they need to go. And plus, she's been training at Kamartaj, so she needs to have a power upgrade at this point. So she needs to be in the movie, and I'm fairly certain she's going to be in the movie. Next, we have Kate Bishop. She's being set up to be a pretty big character. I think she's going to be in the movie, but obviously since it's Doctor Doom and probably other bigger characters, powerful characters, she's probably, I'm going to put her in small role actually, just because unless she gets some sort of power upgrade, I just don't really see her being able to do too much. But I would love to be proven wrong. I just don't see her having too much of an impact in this movie. So that's why if she's going to be in the movie, I'm going to put her in a smaller role. But I want her to have a bigger role, and I think Marvel is setting her up to have a bigger role in the future, like being one of the leaders of the Young Avengers. So we'll see what they do with that. I think Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, she's probably going to be in the movie. Marvel is setting up her character to be one of the bigger characters, and I do feel like she's going to have a decent amount of screen time. And I know you're saying more than Captain Marvel? Yes, but I'm trying to play the logistical play here. If I were to do a completely biased one, this would look completely different. But I gotta use some logic and reason here, unfortunately. So while obviously Captain Marvel power scale is much higher than Kamala Khan, I do feel like she'll play a bigger role in the movie. Not unfortunately, but just I do think that's going to be the case because I do really like Kamala Khan's character. I think she was a really bright spot in the Marvels, and she provides a lot of like wholesomeness in situations where you would find a lot of the opposite. So Cassie Lang, probably same thing, small role if she's in the movie again. Young Avengers, just similar vibe. Also Riri Williams, Ironheart, same thing. I just anyone young Avengers adjacent, I feel like if they are gonna be in the movie are just gonna play kind of a small role. Next we have the leader. I do think the leader, while he is probably going to be in the movie, and I think he's going to have a fairly big impact, I do think he is only going to have a cameo in the movie. And I think it's only going to be a cameo because in the Captain America post-credit scene, it seems like he knows what's coming. He knows that Doom's coming. He knows incursions are coming. He knows X-Men and other Avengers might be coming. There's like he knows a lot of stuff is coming, so there's no way that they're not gonna factor that in. Next we have Valkyrie. I think she's probably gonna be in the movie, but I think this is where we say goodbye to her. Unfortunately, I think this is where they send her off to an ultimate sacrifice because I think New Asgard, along with a lot of Earth, is going to be destroyed in this movie, so she's not really going to have much to defend anymore. So she's like, I've got nothing else to lose, so she's probably going to go out swinging. Unfortunately. Love her character, but it just seems like this is where we see the end of her story. Next we have White Vision. Now, Vision Quest has been in the works for years at this point. I'm not certain if it's coming out before or after Doomsday. I'll put up a visual to give a more definitive answer, but I do think if he is in the movie, he's going to play a small role. I feel like with how little they've done with his character, I don't feel like it would make sense to have him play a pretty big role. So I do feel like he'll play a small role if he's in the movie, but more than a cameo. Just because he's pretty easy to work into the plot, so I feel like he can play a small role. Next we have Zemo, the ultimate cameo god. I love this guy. So I see Zemo making a cameo in this movie, and that's it. But he's going to help the Thunderbolts get what they need to set up fighting Doom or, anything like that. They're going to call on him because Bucky knows him, Sam knows him, and I just see him helping them out again. Will he die? Maybe. I hope not. I love Zemo, but yeah. Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man. I'm 99% sure Tobey will be in the movie. Andrew will probably be in the movie. Just because I've heard more rumors about Tobey being like a Secret Wars, big player, one of the leaders of one of the teams, stuff like that. And I haven't heard as much with Andrew Spider-Man. But I do think it's likely that we do see both of them in the movie and that they both play pretty big roles in the movie. And I would love to see that. Now, next we have Kang the Conqueror. You're like, what? I know. There's too much unresolved in the MCU with Kang to just leave it completely unresolved in Doomsday. Would it be like Marvel to just throw the plot away entirely? Kind of, yeah. But we're trying to do the character right. And yes, I know, the actor that plays Kang, Jonathan Majors, got charged with some crimes and convicted of some crimes. But it's not the first time an actor has done fairly bad things and came back on screen to do another role before. So, that's what we're going with. I do think he'll be in this movie as a cameo, but this is going to be the end of Kang. Doom's killing him off, and we're moving on from the plot line. Hopefully we get a cool fight. Moon Knight, sadly, probably not going to be in the movie. Do I want him to be in the movie? Absolutely. If we could get Blade Knight, That'd be cool too, but Oscar Isaac, the actor that plays him, just says, I don't really feel comfortable working with Disney and everything. I just don't really see myself returning to any Disney adjacent characters. So that's probably why he's not going to be in the movie. Maybe things can change for Secret Wars, but he's probably not going to be in the movie, sadly. Now, Captain Carter, you're like, what? What is she doing here? Marvel loves Captain Carter, and Haley Atwell seems pretty open to coming back in the role. And, we could see another variant of her from another universe. So, probably not in the movie, but there is a chance that we do see Haley Atwell. Now, next we have Nova. Nova has been teased in the MCU for many years. And in one of the original write-ups of Infinity War, he was supposed to be the one sent to Earth instead of Hulk from Thor's ship from Heimdall. So, imagine that. In Infinity War, Nova is the one that warns the Avengers that Thanos is coming instead of Hulk arriving in the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York. That'd be really cool. And also, he's been teased to get his own show. He was teased to show up in most of the Guardians movies, but they just never have found a way to work him in. So, this might be the movie where they work him in. That would be pretty cool. So I do think he'll play a small role, and then, he'll play bigger roles in stuff later on in the future. So that'd be cool. Now, the OG Fantastic Four. That would be fun. That would be cool. Likely? Probably not. Maybe, we did see an RIP to Chris Evans, Human Torch, in Deadpool 3. But we could see Reed Richards or The Thing come back. Sadly, I don't think Jessica Alba wants to come back after her experience on set, which she is completely justified for. So if she doesn't want to come back, that's fine. But I do see one of these two coming back. If they do, it's probably not likely, but it's possible. Mephisto. I think we can get a Mephisto cameo. Somehow, some way. I mean, bro was crapping on Dormammu in the Ironheart show, which we've seen Dormammu. He's a very powerful individual. It took Doctor Strange a crazy spell and some mind magic to defeat Dormammu. So if Mephisto is crapping on Dormammu, then who knows how powerful he is. And it has been rumored that Mephisto and Doctor Doom might team up at some point in Avengers Doomsday. So I could see Mephisto making a cameo in Doomsday, working with Doctor Doom. Next, we have Clea. Similar to Doctor Strange, the post-credit scene in Doctor Strange 2. I think she'll only make a cameo in the movie, kind of addressing what will happen in the movie or what had happened in the movie, something along those lines. I just don't really see them carrying that plotline anymore. So, next we have Galactus. Love this guy. Big boy Galactus. I think he'll have a small role in Avengers Doomsday. He's too big of a force. Too big of a force. I do think he'll have something to say about Doctor Doom wanting to wreak havoc amongst the multiverse. I don't think he'll be vibing with that. Next, we have Ghost Rider. I think there's a chance we get a Ghost Rider cameo in this one. I really do. That would be awesome. I've been hearing about Ghost Rider castings forever and a half. I'm sure you guys have seen the Ryan Gosling ones. That would be really cool. But I do see a Ghost Rider cameo in this to kind of set up him being in Secret Wars if they do want to do that. So that would be really cool. Now, Miles Teller, the Maker. We could also throw, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's first name, but either of these guys could play the Maker. Likely, probably not, but the Maker's a really cool character, and the Maker's vibe kind of fits someone who would team up with Doctor Doom. He's more of an evil Reed Richards, so I could really see that happening if they were to do that, but probably not just because of how filled this movie is already. But next we have Thanos. Like, what? More Thanos? Yes. more Thanos, and it seems like they're bringing back Thanos just to do that one scene in the comics where Doom rips out Thanos' spine, which, again, that would be cool. So, oh, sorry, only a cameo, and he's probably going to come back and be like a really big force for like a few minutes, and then Doom just steps in, and Thanos just be like, who are you? And then Doom's like, I'm Doom, baby, and go. So, yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. I know we have Gambit hanging out there, but we are 100% sure that Gambit is going to be in the movie. So that's what we're doing. We're going to put him in there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the tier list of the characters who have not been yet announced for Avengers Doomsday, but the likelihood of them being in it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, again, drop a like, drop a comment. If you want us to talk about anything else, and if you made it this far, we really appreciate it, and we hope to see you on the next one. Peace.